Hello, everyone. Sideways and flipped around and backwards. How are you all doing? Let me get this back up in my stand here. Thank you for joining me today. It's William here from Allegory Gallery. I hope you're doing okay today. Happy Friday, everyone. Are you having a good Friday? I hope you are. I hope it's a delightful Friday for you. Um, we have a little bit of exciting news today, and that Andrew is going to be home tonight. He is coming home for a quick layover before he has to go down to North Carolina. So he'll be home a little later tonight, maybe before this live ends. I don't know. It depends how much I go, but I'm going to try to get this live done a little bit early so I can get some maybe food going, and we can maybe have something for him to eat when he gets home. I think he's supposed to be here around 11. That's what it's looking like right now. So that hopefully it all works out. So please wish him well as he continues on his travels. Um, Susie's here. Teresa's here. Thank you all for being here. If you're out there, please say hi. Um, yeah, I was at the store today, and I had some people come in, which was really nice. We had there is a I'm trying to think of the name now. Um, there is a music festival going on in town, in Johnstown this weekend, and Flood City Music Festival, maybe, or is that Pittsburgh's? I can't remember the name of it, but we have some people, two different people from Philadelphia were in today. So they were in town specifically for the music fest that's happening in Johnstown. I guess there are some pretty big names of bands coming in. I don't know many of them. Somebody said there was somebody mentioned some punk bands and things like that, and that's not my thing. But apparently there are some really fairly big names coming in, and it's a whole weekend celebration there. I kind of wish I could see more of it, but Andrew's coming home today. We're probably not going to get up there for any of it tomorrow. I decided to close the store for tomorrow so that Andrew and I could spend some time together before he goes back down to North Carolina for a week or so. Week and a half. I forget how long exactly he's going to be down there. Um, and he's going to leave Sunday morning, early Sunday morning, I believe. So, yeah, it's going to be a quick stop for him, but at least we will get to see each other a little bit, and it will be nice. It will be nice. Um, so, how are y'all doing out there? What's going on? Norma's here. Hello, Norma. Thank you for joining us. What's everybody doing? How's everybody? Susie's here. Hello. Hello, hello. Um, uh, yeah, so that's what's going on today. I just realized how red my eye looks. It is. I still have my sty. I think it's coming to a point where it's um, almost gonna go away or pop or whatever. I don't know what they do. This is the first time I've ever had this. I've never had to deal with this in my life. Um, so sorry about that. I feel like I should be wearing an eye patch because it's kind of really red and um, kind of visible. But anyway, um, those things that happen. Um, but yeah, so that is going on. We're going to be closed tomorrow in the store. We were open today. I had some customers in, which was nice. Some people visiting, and they also visited the cafe next door at Jada's Jazz Cafe. So that's nice that people came in and um, kind of did that. And um, one of them, it was interesting because we recently here in Ligonier have had a fairly large solar farm put in, and when it was being put in, it caused quite the controversy here. Uh, anything new like that, it's always, especially in a small town like this, it usually causes some controversy. Um, One of the people they inherited, I guess they inherited a farm and it had a lot of land, and they did not use it to farm. And so I guess they leased out or sold. I don't know what they did. I think they're leasing the land to the solar farm. And it was not, some of the neighbors didn't like it because they were worried about it being, they're not going to, have their rolling hills anymore and their greenery. And it's actually something that I see on my way to my pottery class every week. The solar farm is up that way. And I met today the person who was project managing part of that. So it was kind of interesting to see their perspective on it too, and how things seemed from their point of view. And they were very nice. They talked about how they have meetings with the communities and they try to, be there to answer as many questions as they possibly can, because people, this is kind of a new thing in a lot of places, and people have a lot of questions and concerns, and they said that they try to answer as many as they can. Teresa says it helps put warm compresses on your eye. Yeah, I've been trying to do that. You know, it's making me a little crazy because it's messing up my vision in this eye too, because it adds the pressure to your eye, and it changes your vision in your eye. So, I feel like I'm falling apart some days, and I'm sure all the stress doesn't help, but I don't think that's what causes it. It's usually like a blocked, apparently they say it's a blocked um, oil gland in your eye, in your eyelid, and they get blocked up sometimes. Like I said, this is the first time this has ever happened to me. I've never had this before. So who knows? Hopefully it goes away soon. It's lasted a lot longer than most people say that they normally last. But then I've talked to some people and they're like, yeah, I've had one for like 6 months before it went away. So I'm just kind of trying to take care of it. And, you know, that's what I can do. So in the meantime, I have to go public and talk on the internet with my red eye. Oh well. There's certain things as an adult we can't really get out of, right? And we have to deal with the shame of it all. But yeah, so my day was pretty good. I took a bunch of stuff up to the store to sort, so I started pre-sorting a bunch of stuff from the lives, pre-sorting, pre-packing from the lives this past week. That's usually what I do. So I'll be having things ready to go out next week for those who have a package starting to get to that length of time where it should be going out. And yeah, that's pretty much been my day. I'm excited that Andrew's coming back. I don't know if the cats are excited. I told them that he's coming back. Some of them seem excited. Some of them are just very passé about it. I don't know. They usually, I think because I am usually the food giver, the food bringer. Whenever we come back from a trip, if I've gone as well, they usually, at first, they're timid around both of us, and then they warm up to me pretty quickly. But they tend, for whatever reason, they tend to hold a grudge with him, with him, and I don't know why. I think they have to. They kind of have to not hold a grudge with me because I give them the food. Even though I'm going to give them the food anyway, but it helps, I think. And so they hold a grudge with him longer, and they kind of ignore him a lot after he's been gone for a while. So I've told them that they need to get to loving on him because he's only going to be here for one day, and they need to show him the love while he's here before he leaves us again. So hopefully they will do that. But yeah, that's what's been going on. How is everybody out there? What have you all been up to? Did you have a good week? Did you have a good Friday? It is Friday. I'm excited that it's Friday. It doesn't really mean as much to me, except, I won't have the lives to do Saturday and Sunday. So, I love doing these, but sometimes doing them 5 days a week, like we do, it's a lot of energy spent. And so the weekend helps me to kind of recharge when I'm not doing the lives, and I can put some effort into other things like making some reels and taking pictures of things and all that kind of good stuff too. So, because these lives, they take a lot of energy to do a live. It's like public speaking for hours every day. And that's literally what it is. But it is, it may not be as intimidating as standing in front of a live crowd, but it still takes energy. Um, but also in a lot of ways they recharge me, because when I am anxious or when I am a little bit depressed, it's nice to get on here with friends and all of you out there and kind of talk. So it goes both ways, but it does take a lot of effort. And I'm literally public speaking most nights for about 2.5 to 3 hours, and that's a lot. That's a lot. So the weekends, that is one thing that the weekends kind of afford me, is the ability to kind of um, recharge in that way. So, yeah, that's that. Um, I'm looking. I had something. Now I don't know what I did with it. Oh, hello, Angela. Hello, Suzanne. Thank you for joining us. How's everyone doing? I know, Suzanne, you were talking about you had a chair class start. How did the chair class go? I don't think you were on yesterday. I don't think so. I was wondering how the chair class went, your first chair class, if that went well or not. Um, Suzanne says, tomorrow's our 35th anniversary. Well, happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. I hope you have a great one. Do you have plans for it? What are you planning on doing? Hopefully something fun. What else is going on? I'm trying to think. Suzanne says, we ran out of room, so many people came. That's awesome. Sorry, I'm looking at something. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome that you ran out of room. That means that it was a good class. We were going to barbecue, but it's supposed to rain. Boy, it rained here. I don't know if y'all got any rain or not, but it rained here today quite a bit. I posted a reel of it, but luckily ours was very short-lived. Um, it came down very hard for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then it was over. So I don't know. I don't know what. Barbecue sounds really good. I kind of miss barbecuing. When we were growing up, we didn't have. We usually had like the little round charcoal grills, and at some point we did get. I don't know if our grill was propane or if it was still a larger charcoal grill. I think we got a propane one at some point, like a hand-me-down that somebody gave us, and we used to do barbecue, like chicken, and we do barbecue chicken and burgers on the grill, and it is. I kind of miss that. It wasn't something we did very often, but it was something that, because it was a little bit more special, it was a little bit more fun, a fun way of cooking. But yeah, I haven't done any grilling in a while. Susie says, happy anniversary to you. Suzanne says, I saw your rain. I'm doing oven-baked potatoes. Ooh, oven-baked potatoes. I don't know what I'm going to make tonight. That's why this live is probably going to be a little bit shorter. I'm probably not going to talk as long, because Andrew's coming back, and I want to try and get some dinner going before he gets back. I guess I'm going to try. I don't know what I'm going to make. I have to see. I do have potatoes, so that's actually a good idea. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I could do some baked potatoes, and I have some rice stuff and stir-fry stuff maybe. So I might do some vegetables and baked potatoes. That would be good. Teresa says, we got a lot of thunderstorms and lightning, but no rain. Yeah, we got rain. We got thunder. I didn't see much lightning, but we got a lot of rain and thunder. Um, so Norma says, I wish it would rain here and cool things down a bit. The heat is tiring. Um, and I don't want to go anywhere because my car AC died. Can't get it fixed until August 5th. Oh boy, that's rough. Um, our car AC is hanging in there. It's kind of like it doesn't get super cold or anything. The van generally is better. It's newer, but the car that I have while Andrew's away, um, it does definitely have some. It probably needs to be recharged at some point, but it's still putting out some cool air. But I do ride around a lot with the windows down um, for some, for a little bit, as much as I can, because there's still at least some airflow at that point. But yeah, to be totally without it, that would be rough. That would be rough. So I feel for you. I feel for you, Norma, because that would be hard. But the rain, I will say, did not cool things down here. At least not to any. It just made things kind of more humid. I thought it would let the humidity come out of the air. Dropping all that rain, you hope that the humidity comes out of the air. It did not. It's humid out. It's wet. It's hot. And I don't know what. Yeah, it's saying it was 87 today. It's 80 right now. The low all day is 73. It's kind and it's very muggy. It's very muggy. I'm not loving it, but I have the air on here, which I'm sure you can hear, because this room was hot when I got home. Hot and like thick. The air was thick in here, so I have that on. But yeah, that is, that's what's going on. Hey, Susan is here. Hello, Susan. Thank you for joining us. Yeah. So, what else is happening? Trying to think. Says William, I hope your eye is okay. Yeah, I was just talking about that earlier. I think my sty is finally getting to a point where it's about to be done, or whatever. I guess sometimes they drain or pop or whatever, and it's at that point, I think. So I've been hot compressing it, trying to break it up. I've been massaging it. They say to massage it. So I'm just kind of I think it's getting to the point where it's about to do that. I hope, because I'm tired of this. I've had this for a long time now, and it just needs to be done now. I'm tired of looking at my red eye in the camera all day when I'm chatting with you all, because it's been too long. So yeah. Norma says 93 here today, down to 89 now. Oh boy. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Y'all get it much hotter than we do. Usually, anyway. Sometimes we get really hot here. And lately, this summer has been a muggy, humid summer, which is no fun. No fun at all. Yeah, so I've picked some things on my way home. I stopped at the cottage and I grabbed some stuff. So hopefully you will all hang out with me and take a look at some of this stuff. Like I said, I'm not going to talk too long because Andrew's on his way home. And if I talk too long, I won't have any time to try and get some dinner made before he gets home. Although if I do make what I'm thinking about making, it kind of should be made kind of close to when he gets home. And I don't know when exactly he's going to be here. So, but I think it's going to be around 11 or so is what he's en route for. So yeah. And then we'll spend tomorrow together, and then down to North Carolina. He starts on Sunday. Tori says, my asthma was so bad today. It was 94 and humid. That's the hard thing. It makes it hard to breathe. I had more issues like that when I was younger. I wasn't diagnosed with asthma or anything, but my allergies would get so bad, and I think I had I didn't have asthma, but I had something that when it got real hot and humid, I had a really hard time breathing. And yeah, it was not good. So I feel you. It's not easy, and I don't deal well with the heat anyway. am not built for that. That standing around kind of sweating kind of heat is not, I feel very weak when all that happens. Um, Sue says it's miserable here, high of 97, dew points around 76, um, summer equivalent of a snow day. Yeah, some days just need to be like that, right? But yeah, like I said, we got the rain, but it did not cool anything down. It just made it stickier. No fun. No fun at all. Let me see. I was going to say something else. Oh, Barnaby, his asthma has been acting up too. Um, he's been coughing a lot. He got himself so worked up today coughing that he had to throw up a little bit. So he's been having a hard time with, even though we have the air on in the house, he does go outside. And sometimes I don't know if it's better for things to be drier, because he also goes down in the basement, which is more humid, and he likes to be down there. So sometimes I wonder if it's better for him not to have so much dryness, because it seems like when the air conditioners are running a lot, he gets very, I don't know if he gets cold or if he just seems uncomfortable. So sometimes I turn off the air conditioners at night if it's cooler, and let the house not be so cooled. But I don't know what to do for him, because it makes it, he's been coughing a lot, poor little boy. Suzanne says, oh no, Barnaby, get well. Yeah, I think he's okay. I think he's just, it's the weather for him. Weather changes affect him a lot. So going into different seasons, I noticed that he's affected a lot by that. He starts coughing a lot more with his asthma. It's that he gets very congested and he has to cough it out, kind of. And that is something that I think, because sometimes the air conditioners are on, he gets too dried out, and then he goes outside where it's humid, and then he comes back in, and there's a lot of temperature change for him. So I try to kind of not have the air conditioners on so much that when he goes outside and comes back, that there's so much of a change. But then again, I can't survive in that kind of heat and humidity very well. So I have to have them on sometimes. Susie says, you're experiencing Florida type weather. I don't want to be in Florida. I do not want to be in Florida. Very much no. Even Andrew, who grew up in Florida, he's like, I could never deal with Florida anymore. He says, I could not do it. He's adjusted to the colder weather. Teresa says, I don't do well with heat. It makes me faint. Yeah, I have issues. I feel weak when I get too hot, and sometimes I feel like I have trouble breathing. And sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. The heat doesn't bother me so much. It's more the humidity that makes that happen, I've noticed, because was it last summer? It was pretty dry, and I could go running, and it was fine. It was like 80, 90 degrees, and I'd go out running, and it was fine. I didn't really feel it that much. I mean, I would sweat and all that, of course, but I could breathe. I wasn't having issues. But now to go out and try and do a run or something, I don't know. I don't know that it would be... I want to, because I miss running, and I haven't run since last summer, but I don't know if I could handle it, to be 100% honest. Does the AC have a dry mode? It won't cool, but just dry the air. They do. And I did have that on for a while. That's what we actually use in the cottage right now. And it's actually keeping things... It's so weird. It has a dry mode on the ones at the cottage, and it seems like it works better than turning on the actual air conditioning mode, and it seems like the electric bill's less. So we use that, and I probably should try that in the house, actually, because I don't know why I haven't. At one point I did, at the very beginning of summer I did, and then once it started getting really hot, I turned on the cool, but probably at night I should do dry mode. That might help better. Susie says, a couple of my cats love the heat and sun. Gilbert seems, I don't know, Gilbert I don't think loves the humidity because he hasn't been going outside as much. Um, he usually goes out with everybody, but lately he hasn't been. But he does love to lay in the windows and like in the sun. And Barnaby is a skinny little thing, so he oftentimes does that too. But he also goes in the basement. In the basement, like I said, the one live, our basement is actually really warm right now, and I don't know. Usually our basement stays fairly cool in the summer, but it's pretty humid right now. We have the dehumidifier going all the time, but it just can't keep up this year. Um, but he goes down there and stays warm. So he likes it down there, and it's all quiet. Nobody bothers him. His little man cave. He's got the basement to himself. Susan says, I hate this heat and humidity. I know. Me too. Me too. But, you know, it's summer, and some people love the summer. You know, Susan said, I have friends who just love summer heat and humidity. I think they're out of their minds. Terry says, humidity is not good for people who have breathing problems. My two girls have cystic fibrosis, and it affects them all the time. And Susan's dry mode lowers the temperature a little bit and makes things more comfortable by pulling moisture out of the air. Yeah, maybe I should try that because even I don't like cold air conditioning. Like when I leave our house most mornings or leave the cottage, most of the time I feel really good for the first 15 minutes or 20 minutes outside, even though it's crazy humid and hot. Because I don't do well with the super cold. I get very cold easily. So I should probably just try dry mode. That might be enough. I don't know why I didn't think of doing it more before. Susan says, I hate summer. I bet you, down in Florida, I bet you hate summer. I don't know how anyone can live in Florida in the summer. I don't understand it. I have no idea. I have no idea how you do it. I mean, staying in the air conditioning probably a lot. And then I'm like, but like, what's the point? Like, I don't know. I couldn't. I would be just a sweaty mess all the time. It's bad enough up here, up north. Being down there where it's much hotter and humid, more humid. No, thank you. Vicky's here. Hello. Good evening, good evening. Says it was warm today, but it'll be really hot this weekend. Oh boy. No good. Suzanne says summer is not my favorite season. Nope. Nope. As soon as I start dreaming of fall, especially Halloween when it's like this. I know. I start thinking like I'm definitely one of those people that like Christmas enters my mind in July. Like Christmas in July, I start daydreaming about Christmas and Thanksgiving and Halloween and the trees turning colors and the like the bonfires people have in the fall. Like it's just yeah. Trey says Monday the high will be 105. Oh my word. I better look at because I have not looked. Yeah, we're not getting that hot. Our highest is 88 next Tuesday, Wednesday. We're going to have some days down in the 60s at night again, even 50s at night. Oh, good. Those are the days I like. As long as it's not humid, I can open the windows up. Cabin fever is opposite in Florida, right? I bet. Suzanne says 117 here with the heat index. That's insane. That's no good. Right now it's technically 78 here now, and it says 80 because of the humidity. So that's not too bad. Norma says around May 1st I start waiting for October. I bet. Vicky says me too, Susan. We get wonderful autumns in Colorado. Teresa, I would cry if it was that hot. I know, right? No, thank you. I don't like it. I don't like it, not at all. If it were up to me, I would move more north even than this, I think. like Andrew was showing pictures of Maine and talking about how it was chilly, and I was like, okay, kind of like that, kind of, kind of, that's good for me. But um, also at the same time, I know those winters are even worse. So I don't know. Like I do like winter, but with as busy as we are, it's hard to do some things in winter sometimes. Um, but depending on where it was and how we lived and all that, I prefer things to be a little bit on the cooler side than the hotter side of things. And my grandmother was like that. Most of my family's like that. Um, we're just not crazy about the heat. But yeah, anyway, that's the way it is. That's the way it is. Um, oh, I started listening to some of your music suggestions yesterday at the cottage when I was there. And I haven't gotten through all of them, but I started listening to some. And I'm kind of starting to make some lists of the ones that kind of kind of work for me. The ones that are kind of more my vibe, and some of them definitely aren't. That's okay. Um, but it's been interesting to see and kind of get your perspectives on music. Um, it's been really kind of it gives. I think music. Sorry. I think music is one of those things that really give you a perspective into a person's world, and it's always surprising to me sometimes. Wow. Okay, there we go. It's always surprising to me sometimes what people listen to. Uh, you know, some of the things that I started listening to, the bands were definitely a lot harder than um, than I thought, um, but or thought they would be. But it really gives me, more insight into who you all are sometimes. Um, so yeah, I it's been interesting to see. So this is what musical suggestions work for you. I wrote them down. I started marking them off. I'm terrible with remembering. I'm terrible with remembering band names or artist names. Um, so off the top of my head, I don't even know. But I started listening to them, and as I started doing that, I started marking down the ones that I'm like, I need to go. And it's more like it was it was more like a preliminary thing because I was packing and doing stuff, so I wasn't completely paying attention. Like I was zoned into what I was doing a lot. Um, but when I would hear something and I'm like, oh, I need to check on this, or I need to listen to this a little bit more, I like checked mark them. So um, I'm going to try and work my way through the list and then come back and report on the things that I found more my style or more not. So it's been fun though. Suzanne Cinnamon is sending healing purrs to Barnaby. Thank you. I'm sure he will appreciate that. Um, Vicky says, I have a very narrow temperature comfort range. Humidity is worse. Yeah. Um, humidity is 89% there. Ooh, I don't know. Our humidity is 77% right now. 77% humidity. That's too much. Too much. When I look at, we have that dehumidifier in the basement, and this morning it had stopped overnight because it had filled up the bucket, and it said 70% humidity down there. And I was like, this is too much. And knowing that it's 77% outside, that's bad. That's bad. So, yeah, not fun. All right, let me flip this camera around. Like I said, I'm going to do this fairly quickly today. We're not gonna chat too long, even though we've chatted for like 30, 40 minutes already. Because Andrew's on his way home, and I want to try and get things a little ready for dinner and stuff for him. So I'm going to flip the camera around, and you don't have to look at my red eye anymore. And we will flip this around and get started with the Bead Show. Please like and share this. We don't have a lot of people watching tonight, and I don't know if there's something else going on in the world that I'm missing. I do that oftentimes, but if you share this, that'll help get the word out that we are streaming live. I didn't get to put up a banner earlier today, and I think that's part of the reason that people don't know that we're streaming. I try to do that, but some days I lose track of time, especially when I'm at this shop. I lose track of time, and then I have to drive home and kind of, drive home pretty quickly to get here in time to do the live. Let me see here. Let's do, these lots are going to be FNL, Friday Night Live. FNL lots. Oh, I need my other light. There we go. I'm going to turn... I'm going to turn that off for a little bit so it doesn't make me too crazy. I'm going to take a quick drink here. I'm going to put the banner up. If you'd like to purchase from this video, please take down the lot number, put it in the subject line of an email, and send that email to info@allegorygallery.com. That's all you got to do. There were some claims today, but I couldn't get into some claims today from yesterday, and I checked my email, but I couldn't get into Square for a lot of today. It kept not accepting my email. It does this thing sometimes where it doesn't accept my email to log in, and I don't know why it does that. And it does it a lot on my iPad, and I don't understand why. It very rarely ever does it on any other device, but my iPad, it does it a lot, and that's all that I have up at the store. So if you sent in emails for any of the video of yesterday or any emails today, you probably didn't get an invoice because I couldn't do it. And I don't think I ever got in to do it. So I will be sending those out today with these ones, hopefully, as long as it all goes well. Okay, let me see, what am I doing here? Sorry, I had this bracelet started working on, and okay, I didn't want it to fall apart. Okay, we're going to start out the show with a very, very, very nice strand of pearls. We originally had these, so let me show you. This is a very long strand. It's all one strand of pearls. One strand of pearls. Let me just tell you how this is such a good deal, because we originally had it at $64 for you all. And if you can see the quality of these pearls, and these are vintage, the size of them, very, very nice pearls. This whole strand, let me see how big this strand is. It's a big strand. Let's see, it was at 12 and then 10, so that's 22, and times 2 is 44. 44-inch strand of vintage freshwater pearls. And we had it at 64. I'm going to even bring it down a little bit less to 58 for you all tonight. $58, FNL1. These beautiful freshwater pearls, 9mm pearls, 44 approximate inch strand. And that is a super deal for these. We have some strands of pearls that are like $38, $42 that are just like 16-inch strands. So this being a huge strand, and look at the color, it's very pretty. The pearls are very similar in size. So you're getting a really good strand. Like, look at these, how similar they are to one another in size. And you're getting that for only $58. That's a lot of pearls for $58. One strand available, FNL1. It's so weird. I was listening to music at the shop all day today, and now I'm in the quiet. And I'm like, don't we usually listen to music on the live? And I'm like, no, we can't listen to music on the live. But it makes me feel like I should be listening to music. Oh, we just sold FNL1. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Someone likes it. Someone got a good deal on that. I'm glad it went to somebody because it's a really nice strand. And that helps with Andrew's gas money because he's coming back and he's got to go again. So that's like a tank of gas right there. So we appreciate that. Or almost a tank of gas. Not quite a full tank of gas, right? But close. All right. Now these are vintage carnelian. And I love these. You may or may not. These were 24, and I'm going to bring them down to 18 each, which is, I think, really inexpensive. Susie says those pearls are beautiful, right? They really are. This is, I like a little bit of a gnarly stone. Like, these aren't super clear or, high end, but they're this gorgeous color, beautiful carnelian, and they're a little bit gnarly, and I love that, especially in the bracelets that I make. I really like to have something that has a little bit of texture, a little bit of, it's not too perfect. And this is the other strand. And I just think they are so beautiful. That color. And they are, now one of these strands is more chunky and one's more flat. So if you prefer one over the other, if you claim, you can let me know. We do have a claim for one of these already. Thank you. These are 16-inch strands. So you'll see like these are more of the flat ones and these are more chunky. So if you do have a preference, you can let me know. If you will accept either one, if you give me a preference, let me know if you would also accept the other, just in case they both sell. But one of them has sold already. But there they are. These ones, they're a little bit flatter and a little bit longer. So they're about 10.5 by about 17.5. Whereas these ones are about 11.5 by 12. Hello, Sandra. Happy Friday to you too. I hope you're doing well. I hope your day's better than the other days. Some of the other days have been. All right, so we've sold one of these. Thank you so much. FNL3. I really like I said, I like a little bit of a gnarly stone. I just think it's kind of really cool. Okay, we got a preference for the chunky. So if you've claimed this already, you got the chunky one. That's good. So I'm going to take that away, actually. And that way people will know it's the smaller one. Not smaller, the flatter. They're actually longer, but the flatter ones. I have the cats at the door. They're clawing away at the door. Okay, now this one, where are my, Boy, I was literally just playing with the scissors, and I'm like, where are the scissors? Life. Sometimes, y'all. Life. I was listening to Return to Innocence today, and I have that in my head now. I listened to it actually a lot today. I don't know what I heard it on. Somebody had it on a reel or something that one of my friends posted a reel, and it was on there, and it got in my brain, and then I had to listen to it, and then I had to listen to it over and over and over again. Sandra says, thanks for saying that. It's much better. I was just talking to my therapist about that. Oh, good. Good, good, good. I'm going to do these for $10. I think that's a good price. These are these fun. I believe they're wooden, but they've got metal in the middle. I think they're wooden. I'm not 100% sure. They're vintage, so the tag that was on them doesn't say. They could be plastic. So, whatever they are, they're really cool though. And they have that kind of wood look, the painted wood look, but with that metallic faceted glimmer in there. And these are about, what are they? About 11 millimeters by about 5.5. And that's FNL3, $10 for the lot. Only one of these available. And it is approximately a 9-inch strand or so. A 9-inch strand. And I think they're super cool. They also are indented so that if you had other rounds, they could fit around them, right? So I'm trying to see if I have something to show that with. Maybe back to this. So if you had a round, like that, they could encapsulate over it, or a smaller round. I don't have, really what I want is a smaller one. Oh no, don't fall off. What I want is a smaller round, but I don't have, how can I not have any? I'm sure I have some somewhere. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. They could go over them and partially hide the rounds a little bit, and so you just get a little glimmer of the round through there, which would almost kind of mimic the stripy effect here. If you had a round in there that was the right size, you could kind of go over there like that. That'd be kind of cool, I think. Anyway, one strand available, FNL3, $10. FNL4, and again, that's a vintage strand. And they're super light, which is what's nice too. And 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, about 37 beads or so on there. 37 beads, I think, something like that. Okay, and then I have this one, FNL4. This is a little shorty carved bone strand. And these are carved bone tubes. And they have this kind of leafy pattern on them. Hand carved bone tubes. And these are approximately 6.5 by 12. We'll say 12, round up. 6.5 by 12 millimeters. And this is a, let me see, get this down here. About an 8-inch strand. 8-inch strand. FNL4, $5. Nice little inexpensive bone strand. I keep hearing what sounds like knocking downstairs. So I'm like, what are the cats doing? What are they getting up to? Are they being naughty? Okay, just did FNL4 has been sold. Thank you so much. Let me take that away so everybody knows. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Sandra, did you decide what to put with the rubies? I know you were deciding between, you had some pearls that you had found, but I wasn't sure if you actually went with them or if you were doing something else. With that custom order you had going. This is FNL5. This was $10. This is a set, a grouping of these mostly ceramic beads. I love this one. This is one of my favorites. This one's glass. It's glass bead. And then you have this. This is a vintage plastic, I think. These two. Vintage plastic. And then you have these resin conglomerate beads. I love these. I think they're so cool. And you get them in both those sizes. And then we have the ceramic rounds, ceramic kind of ovals, and ceramic cubes. And these are all generally, well, not all, but this is about 12 millimeters. These rounds are 12 millimeters. This one is about 13 by 15 and a half. This is 16 and a half. And then this one is 14, and these smaller ones are 11 and a half. And then this one is 15. So you get that whole grouping, those lovely ceramic beads, well, not ceramic, ceramic, glass, conglomerate, resin, and vintage plastic for $8. It says, says, yes, I talked with my client today and I asked them about other stones. So it's going to be ruby chunks with a drop pendant, pearls, and moonstone with 14 karat gold. Nice. That's awesome. I can't wait to see what it looks like. Can't wait to see what it looks like. I'm very excited about that. I'm sure you are too. FNL6. Someone's going to love that, I'm sure. Working on pricing 14 karat gold chain tonight. Nice. Okay. What am I doing? FNL6. Just going to do this quick. $12. $12 is this strand of quartz chips. These are pretty nice, and well, there's that one big one, but they're pretty nice and small quartz chips. They're not too big, but they're really nice quality quartz chips. Very clear, very pretty. Normally we would price this at probably at least $18, but doing it for $12 for y'all, just if somebody wants to grab it. And generally they are around about 6.5 millimeters or so. And it is, let's see here, probably 36. 34, about a 34-inch strand. About a 34-inch strand of beautiful, nice quality Pretty high quality quartz chips. $12 for the whole strand, FNL 6. I hear more noises downstairs. It's making me nervous. What are those kids getting up to? Okay, let's see. These are kind of really cool. Again, I was talking about this the other day. How much I love brushed metal. And these are brushed copper hollow beads. And let's see here, copper hollow beads. Let me do that for, let's do it for $6 for the whole lot. I think that's a really good price. I just bumped this, didn't I? So you get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of them for $6, FNL 7. Sandra says 6 is very well priced and would make great spacers too. Yes, yes it would. Yeah, really nice chips. And I love the, like I love these with like this right there. Look at that. Beautiful. Somebody just sent FNL 12, but we don't have a 12 out yet. So I don't know if you meant one, if you meant 2. So let me know, because I do still have 1 of 2 available. If you meant 1 and 2, they 1 has sold. But if somebody is looking for another strand of very long pearls, because 1 has sold already, I do maybe have another strand of very long pearls. They're very nice. They are also more expensive. So let me know if anybody's interested in that. And I think they're sitting over across the room a little bit. But let me know. But yeah, I want to make sure, I don't know, somebody sent 12, and we're not at 12 yet. So I'm going to delete that email so I don't accidentally sell you 12 down the line if you don't want it later. So resend your email, please. If you just sent one, let me know what it was you wanted. I'm going to put 2 away. That's the carnelian. The flatter carnelian strand is still available. 3, these are still available. I thought these were going to sell right away. Is that, maybe, is the price too high? Nobody likes those? I think they're super cool. All right, how about we try it at $8? I'll do it at $8. How's that? And see what's going on. All right, we just got a claim for 6, so thank you so much. I appreciate it. Got that. Oh, maybe you were looking at the price because it was $12. That makes sense. Okay, so I reduced the price of this down to $8 for y'all. We got this lot for $8 for that lot of beads. We got this lot of beads for $6 here. And if anybody's interested in another long strand of pearls, let me just show it to you. Why not? If I do still actually have it. And I don't know. Andrew sent these aside. I don't think they were for him, but they might have been. But I'm going to show them to you one more time for you all, just in case you might want them. I know some people like the good deals on the pearls. This was at 48, and I can't go below that. So these FNL8, $48, are these beautiful, beautiful little round pearls. And they would match up, I think. Let's pull out FNL1 just to show you. For that person who got one, maybe you want, they are the same color, just a different shape and size. So if you wanted to mix and match them, right, you could. But if you want to miss out on one, you have a chance now at this one, FNL8, because it's the same color, just a smaller size and different shape. These are much more rounded. These are about 6.5 millimeters. And this strand is approximately 12 plus 6 is what, 18, so 36, a little bit shorter, 36-inch strand. And that's FNL8, $48. One of those available. Let's see here. Oh, FNL3 has sold. Thank you so much. So FNL3, that price reduction helped. Helped a little bit, right? Okay. And then, let's move these down. I have one more long strand of pearls, and it is by far one of my favorite strands we've had because it's large and it's peacock. And I love the peacock pearls pretty much more than any other pearl. I love peacock pearls. I don't know what you all like the most in your pearls, but I love a peacock pearl. So let's see here. FNL8. Last time we had these at $128. I'll go a little bit lower to $118, but I cannot go lower than that because these are so nice. Now let me, this is 12. Let's see, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. This is about a 42-inch strand. 21 times 2, 42-inch strand. So like the first one, Sandra says, I have so many peacocks running around here, right? They're my favorite too. Look at this. Let me just move these out of the way for a moment because I want you to see. Oh, I doubled up on numbers. Thank you, Suzanne. Somebody's looking out for me here. Let's move this to 9. FNL9. These are these beautifully large, very, very similar in size and shape peacock pearls. And they're peacock, but they have, like, I don't know if you're seeing it, they're peacock, but they have a copperness to them, a copper color as well. So they're like a gray, coppery, beautiful, they're almost like a blue-gray copper. It's very unique. It's a beautiful strand. Like it's like storm cloud gray with a copper, like the sun starting to peek through the clouds. Like it's just beautiful. Sandra says, you can see that gray copper blue, right? It's so pretty. I'm glad you can see it because these are very unique. I call them peacock because I don't know what else you call them when they're, you know, all these beautiful colors like this. But it's a very unique strand. The beads on here, they are 9 millimeter approximately. Yeah, 9 by about 9.5. They're a little bit, they're not quite round, but they're ringed. And they're just so pretty. So yeah, that gray's got a little bit of those colors in there. So you get a little bit of the peacock where you see some of that kind of gray blue, but then you've got the copper in there. It is so different. And I love these. And like to make a bracelet out of that, like any ones that you pick are just going to be beautiful together. And you just pick them and put them on a bracelet. And you get a lot of bracelets out of this. Get a lot of bracelets out of this. So one bracelet, I don't know how many you get. What is it? 42 divided by 7 to 8 inches. It's $118 only, and I think that's a really good price for that, because $128 was a good price. And if Andrew knew I was going down, the only reason I'm doing that is because if it'll entice somebody to grab them, it will pay for gas, probably for him to get to North Carolina with that strand, which would be really nice. So there it is, 118, one strand available. That is it. That is all we've got on the big pearls, at least here. Andrew's ears are burning right now. I know, right? I know. I don't know if he's tuning in from the road or not, but he hasn't said anything, which he shouldn't. If he's driving, he'd better not, right? Let's see here. Let's do this. I'll do this at $8. FNL10 are these beautiful faceted tiger eye beads, faceted tiger eye rondelles. It's a shorter strand. The strand's about 9 inches. 9 inches, vintage tiger eye, faceted rondelles, and it's why it's only $8. And they are approximately 6 millimeters by, I think it's usually 6 by 4 for these. Well, 6 by, if I can get in there. Come on. Yeah, 6 by 4. 6 by 4. FNL 10. Really pretty vintage tiger eye strand. Okay, I'm going to put 5 away. Nobody wants that right now, so that's going to go back. That's the ceramic and glass and conglomerate and vintage plastic lot for only $8. I just sold 10. Thank you so much. 10 is now gone, so I will put that away. I'm going to turn on the air conditioner again because now I'm getting hot again. She's on this nice tiger eye. Yeah, I thought that was, I found that strand in one of our drawers, and I thought that's a really nice little strand. So that's FNL 10 done. FNL 7, these copper, brushed copper hollow discs are still available. You get 10 of them for $6 only. And then if you got, the other day we had the brushed silver colored tubes. And if you got those, I know some people grab some of those. There's at least one strand sold. I think these would be really pretty with that. If you did the tubes and then one of these in between, I think it would look really good. We have the long strand of these copper pearls, the rounds. And then we have the gray blue copper pearls for $118. One strand of those. Let's see here. All right. I know some of you are really loving the tiger eye lately, so I have a strand of red tiger eye, and I'm gonna put this, let's see here, this is vintage again, was 16, I'm gonna do it at 14, $14. FNL 11 is the red tiger eye faceted um, rondelles. Really nice color in those. Really nice cat's eye flash. And sometimes red tiger eye is not too red. This is pretty red. It's got really pretty color. And this strand is a 12-inch strand. And they are about 9.5 millimeters by 7 millimeters. And it has sold already. Thank you so much. Thank you. I think that's a really good deal for that. It's a shorter strand. Sometimes our vintage strands, sometimes they're like 16-inch, like a real, like before. Sometimes they come in odd sizes, like 12 inches. But those are nice stones, so I think it depended who the vendor was. Sometimes I think the vendors made up their own strands. So I think that's a thing. FNL 12. Let's just put this at 8. I know some of you like goldstone. I found this little strand of goldstone. This is a 15-inch strand of really nice quality goldstone. Look at how pretty, how much sparkle that has in it. Sometimes goldstone, when you see it now, this is vintage. When you see it now, it doesn't have as much sparkle to it. And goldstone is not a natural stone. It is made using copper flakes, and that's what gives it that glitter usually. At least that's what it used to be. I don't know if that's still what they do. But this is 6 millimeter rounds, 14-inch 14, or did I say 15? 15-inch strand. And it has sold. Thank you so much. Let me put that away. Suzanne says, we're getting a rainstorm. Oh boy. I hope it's not too thunderous and rainy. Don't need any issues. Oh, somebody else tried to buy 12. Sorry, I only found that one strand of those. FNL 13. Let's see how long these are, what I would price these out to be. Okay, these are 16-inch strands. Normally I would do these at least 18, but I will take them down to 14 for you all today. This is FNL 13, and these are little rice pearls, vintage freshwater rice pearls in the white color. And they've got really nice color to them. The white is really white, and they've got rainbows in them. And they're super cute little rice pearls. And these are 16-inch vintage strands. And they are approximately 3 millimeters by, if I can get one here, by about 5. About 3 by 5 millimeters. Really nice quality pearls. Look at those. And like I said, really nice white color. Sometimes they're a little bit yellow when you get these, even though they're supposed to be white. These are very nice. And there's 4 strands available. They are $14 each, FNL 13. It's like pearl night. I'm doing a lot of pearls, I feel like, tonight. Didn't plan on these ones. All right, let me put these back. FNL7, last chance at the copper discs, copper hollow beads, brushed copper. I mean, not really last chance. Last chance to see them, unless you watch the replay. You can still claim them. I'm going to put FNL8 away. Just make room out here on the table. FNL8 are those long strand of smaller pearls in that copper color. And let's leave these out for a little bit, just in case anybody's tempted. And we'll leave these out because I just showed them. FNL14. This was 22. I'm going to bring it all the way down to 16. I think that's a good deal. FNL 14 was 22, bringing it down to 16. It is a beautiful lampwork glass bead. Really pretty lampwork glass. I love the colors in that. So nice. I think that would look really pretty with pearls, like that. I think so. I like that. Why can't I get my light to be right today? I don't know what's going on. There we go. I like that together with the pearls. And this is approximately 22 by 19 by 13. One available, $16. Beautiful lampwork glass bead. Sold one strand of the 13. Thank you so much. So there are 3 of these left. FNL 15. Okay, how many of these do I have? I have 3 sets of these. They're all going to be a little different. But these are rough rubies, and they're kind of done by weight. This is a really good price. $6 only. They're rough rubies, and Andrew has already wired them up. So generally you're going to get 2 of them with 1 each, and then a larger one. Like this one has 5 chips on it, but some of these, so for example, these ones are a little bit bigger, and you get 3 on that one. And then he's done another one where you get 3 of the larger chunks on there and the 2 separate ones there. So there are 3 lots. They're done mostly by weight, so they're $6 each lot and 3 lots available. So those are, and they're rough natural rubies. Rough natural rubies. And he's wired them up so you can use them if you want to as links or as earrings or as a pendant, whatever you want to do. FNL 15, 3 of them available. It's a good price for nice little rough rubies. FNL 16. All right, let me put away the big pearls, the mega strand. Nobody's bought them yet. If they don't buy them, I might start making something with those because I'm, I saw these sitting over there and I thought they were more peacock. And now that I see that they're kind of this blue, gray, copper, it's giving me ideas. So maybe that's good that they've not gone yet. Because kind of want to do something with them maybe. Okay, I'm going to leave this here because we still have 3 of these strands available. We still have this. We've just sold 2 of the 15s, so thank you so much. I will put those. I'm going to actually put those in separate little bags. Susan says, I have FNL9. It's very beautiful. Did you get one of those? I didn't realize we had more of those. I don't remember ever having those before. That's awesome. See, I forget what we have sometimes. 100% I do. I didn't realize we had another strand of those before. Good job, Susan. Good job grabbing that before. All right. This has got it a few years ago. Nice. Good job grabbing that. Ooh, these are nice. I didn't realize how nice these were. Wow. I need to, holy moly. Okay, these are shorty strands, but I have to do them for a little bit more because these are so nice. So this is Sodalite, and I'm probably underpricing this. FNL 16, $10. It's a shorty strand. It's about 7 inches. Let me do it this way. 7.5 inches. But look at the color. I don't know if I can get it to where you can see. Look at the color through that Sodalite. I had to look. I'm like, is that Tanzanite really? No, it's Sodalite. It was marked Sodalite. And I was like, really? But look at, I've never seen, at least not for a long time, Sodalite that is that nice. And this strand is already sold. Thank you. By the way, it's 4.5 millimeter faceted rounds. Whoa, don't lose it. That's so nice. I don't know I've ever seen Sodalite that nice before, honestly. And okay, this one I definitely have to do a little bit more. Sandra says, high quality Sodalite. It really is. And I have another strand. This is a larger strand. I have to do it for a higher price because this is so nice. This is also Sodalite. And it is so, like, look at that color. Super high quality Sodalite. Wow, I'm a little mesmerized. These were in a bag, in a drawer, and I didn't get to see them outside of the bag until just now. And I'm kind of amazed at the quality of these. This is 8 millimeter, and this is an 8-inch strand. Really high quality Sodalite. That's like gemmy Sodalite. Like, look at that. Like, these are so blue and not transparent, but they have a little bit of letting that light through. So that's FNL 17, $18 for that strand. You know what? That's a little too high. Let me make it 16. I feel like that's too high. I can't do that. Right? And 16, do 16. Let's see. FNL 16 is one that's sold. That one's sold. Thank you. All right. Sorry, my screen went yellow. Gotta brighten it up for me. Okay. And let's see, what do we have next? FNL 18. We had these at 8. I'm gonna bring them down to 6. I can't go lower than that. Oh, we just sold 17 as well. Thank you so much. Put that away. Okay, 18. These are just fun, large vintage plastic beads. Very large hole. Kind of like be good probably for your macrame stuff. They're just fun. They're super light. They're about 18.5 by 39 millimeters, and the hole in them is about 5 millimeters. So it's FNL 18. You get all 6 of them for $6. It's just $1 a bead. And FNL 18. What can I say about them? They're kind of cool. I like the colors. Most of them are red, but you get a purple and a yellow as well. And yeah, there you go. Fun. I like that fun stuff every once in a while. Somebody else tried to claim 17. Sorry, it has already sold. FNL 19. Next up, vintage check glass flower / kind of buttons, drops, flower drops maybe is the better, flower drops. They are black with a metallic finish. And this is a very big strand, I feel like. Yeah, this is an 8-inch strand. Lots and lots of these vintage check glass flowers on here. And this was 12, bringing it down to 10 for you all. Lots of those. And I'm gonna try and get a size on these, but they're really packed tight in here. I don't even know how many are on here. They're about 6.5 by 5.5. And there are a lot of these on here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 40. 2, 4, 6, 8, 50. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. About 59. I may have counted wrong. There may be 60 on there. 60 little check glass vintage flowers. $10. FNL 19. Oh, we just sold 18 as I looked up. Thank you so much. 18 is now sold. I like that fun stuff, right? Someone else must too. Oops. So who's out there with me? Say hi if you're hanging out. We've got not as many people watching today, so if you haven't said hi yet, please feel free to say hi. Let me know you're out there. It's always nice to hear from people. Let me put this in here. Kimberly just joined or has been here. I don't know. Thank you so much for joining in, Kimberly. Hello, hello. Susan's still here. Nice. Suzanne is here. Oh, we just sold 19. Those are those flower drops. Thank you so much. Norma's here. Thank you for being here still, Norma. Appreciate everyone hanging out with me. All right, so we've still got one of FNL 15. That's the Rough Ruby drops that Andrew wire wrapped. We still have FNL 14 and FNL 13, these little pearls. We still have 3 strands of these. Teresa's here. Hello, Teresa. Thank you for still being here. Suzanne's working on a necklace with the gorilla beads. Gorilla beads. I'm trying to remember gorilla beads. This is totally late to the party. Had a send-off party for my son's girlfriend to attend. That's nice. How was the party? How was the party? Did you have fun? Sometimes parties are fun. Sometimes they're a lot of work. FNL 20, halfway through. And this was $8 from you guys. I figured it was, but I'm trying to think what gorilla. Are they carved bone? Carved bone gorillas? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember everything all the time. Andrew would probably. He knows. This is a whole lot of these kind of fluted metal beads. This says it was nice. It was out in the lake, but the rain interfered. Rain's interfering with a lot of things lately. So these are FNL 20, and you get the whole lot of them for $6. They are, Suzanne says, check glass, brown with gold wash. Oh, the vintage check gorillas. Now I remember. Yep, those are cute. Those are really cute. All right, did I say the size? About 8 millimeters by 14 and a half. 8 by 14 and a half, $6. These are very, very light. Very good to add to earrings if you want some metal in earrings because they almost weigh nothing. Probably wouldn't even show up on my scale. FNL 21. All right. This is one of the lots that Andrew did at one point, and I'm going to show it again just in case anybody missed it. There weren't a lot of people watching that night. He did that only $20 show, and this was from that only $20 show. So I'm going to keep them at $20. But these are very nice beads. Each one is different. And let me get the light up here so I can show them a little bit better. These are all gemstones. I think that was the one I showed. Yeah, there's that one. And they're all drilled, so they're all beads. Look at this one. This is my favorite one in here, I think. The carnelian. I love carnelian. Look at the, oh, that's rainbow obsidian. Ooh, wait, I have fingerprints on that. Let me take those fingerprints off. Look at that rainbow obsidian. Beautiful. Or is it? Is it? No. That's an agate of some sort. It looked like rainbow obsidian. It's flashing. I've never seen agate do that. Beautiful beads. And you get this whole lot of all of these for only $20. And you can see they're priced out. There's another one of those agates. Don't know what kind of agate that is. Some kind of snake skin or something. So anyway, that's most of them. But I mean, you can see these are each $5, $5, $10, $15, $20. So these were originally, these four were $20, and you get all of these thrown in for the same price. So if you're looking for some really nice, just kind of pendant size things, these are vintage, so a little bit different than what you might see today. Look at that, that's a nice one too. It's like, that looks like a, what, like a poppy jasper, but then it's got that in it. That's really pretty. Yeah, anyway, so there they are, $20 for the whole lot of them, FNL 21. And they're all different sizes. That's 25 millimeters, for example. This one's about 30. The squares, they're corner drilled, so they're technically this way, so they're about 38. So there you go. All right, running out of room, so I'm going to move the rice pearls away. We still have 3 of those available if anybody wants any. FNL 13 brought the price down from 18 to 14. They're 16-inch strands, approximately 3 by 5 millimeter rice pearls in nice bright white. Vintage freshwater. Oh! 18, 16, 17, 18, 19. Let's get these numbers right. And I'm also going to move this one out of the way. This is the FNL 14, the lampwork glass bead. There's sparkly glass in there. And I'm going to move these rough rubies out of the way as well. One of these available left. They are $6 for these pre-wire wrapped rough rubies that Andrew did. I think those are from our friend Kia, the rubies themselves. That woman Kia we always mention on the lives. We never get to see anymore. So these are FNL 20. FNL 21 is this whole lot of pendant beads for $20. It's a lot of pendant beads for $20. I can't believe he did that, but he did. I'll just, when I have, I'm packing these things up at the store generally on weekends, and when things don't sell, some of this stuff is getting deposited into the store inventory as we go. Let's see here. These are kind of cool, I thought. I'm going to do them for a low price. $5. This is a strand of wrapped glass. So it's a carnelian colored glass, and they're kind of wrapped with this kind of like sometimes orbiting or just this quick wire wrapping to turn them into dangles. And you get the strand of them. The strand is approximately about 7 inches long. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, about 15 of those dangles on there. Just something to add a little something for those of you who don't really like to do the wire wrapping but like the look. And it's only $5. FNL 22, one strand available. Okay, this one was 22. I'm going to bring it down to $16. These are vintage dyed jade faceted drops in this lovely like lavender, purple, lavender, pink color. Dyed jade faceted drops. Vintage strand was $22 for the strand, bringing it down to $16 for you all tonight. Really pretty color. I believe it's a 16-inch strand. Yes, 16-inch strand. Pretty drops. They are approximately 11 by 9. 11 by 9 millimeters. Faceted drops in dyed jade. One strand available. Okay, nobody grabbed the metal beads, FNL 20, so I'm going to put those back to make room. I like those so much, I can't believe no one likes those. The metal's been a tough seller lately. Not many into the metal beads right now, I think. And let's move this over. A whole lot of those. Move this over. Move this over. It almost looks like rose quartz, says Susan. Yeah, it does, but it's more purpley. I don't know if it's coming across in the screen. I know my screen it looks a little more pink, but they do have a more purple tint to them. They really, this fabric that I have, you can't see it. It looks kind of blue on the screen, but this fabric is made out of blue and kind of burgundy together, and it really pulls out the burgundy in this. When you set it beside it. It's kind of really pretty. Okay, let's see. These are vintage check strands, FNL 24. I'm going to give them at $6 each. Let me see how many I have. I do have a number of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of these. 8 of those available. FNL 24, $6, vintage check. And let me put most of them away so I can just leave one so I don't take up too much room up here. And I can show you what they look like. They're beautiful blue, like a true blue, vintage check, faceted around. And the strand is an 8-inch strand. Gorgeous color. 7.5 millimeters by about 8. They're not quite round. 7.5 by 8 millimeters. just a really pretty blue. Like, I think those would go really pretty together. FNL 24, $6 a strand, 8 strands of those available. All right, trying to put some things out that are all different price points here. For y'all tonight. Mixing it up a little bit. All right, we just sold one of the 24s. Thank you so much. All the luscious colors tonight, says Suzanne. I tried to pick some. These are darker colors than the summer inspiration show yesterday. A lot of these are kind of darker colors, but I was very into them. Very into them tonight. And here we have another darker, this kind of darker, almost a brown purple. These are large, very large vintage check beads. You don't get vintage check in these big sizes much anymore. We were told by Lenka at Raven's Journey that it's a lot of times like 1 or 2 families only that make the large check beads. And if you show them large check beads over there, they can pretty much name where and what family that came from. So large check is something that they don't do as often. And so we got this stash of some of these very large check beads, and we divided them up into color. And so this is one of them that we have left. And there are 3 different sizes here. You get 3 of the ones that are approximately 15.5 millimeters. You get 2 of the ones that are 17.5 millimeters. And you get 1 of the about 19.5 millimeter beads. And that is FNL 25. And like mixing it with something like that, or some amethyst or lavender amethyst, would be really pretty, I think. But they are large beads, so do with them what you can. Love good deals for pearls, says Angela. Yeah, I think we have some of the best deals on some of the best pearls. Oh, we just sold FNL 21. Somebody grabbed 21. Thank you so much. I wasn't sure if that was going to go or not, but that was a very good deal. $20 for all of those stones. You paid for 4 of them, and you got the rest of them for free. Is exactly what that was, as they were marked. Let's see, 22 is still available. That's these pre-wire wrap little glass beads. 23 is the dyed jade. 24, we still have 7 of these available. 25 we've just sold, so thank you so much. I did a little price reduction for you on that one from 9 down to 8, which I think is a little bonus tonight, right? Give you a little bonus. Okay, that was 25. FNL 26. They're going to be like the African glass, and African glass is going up and up and up and up and up in price. Ours seems to be going down and down and down and down and down in price. These are $16 each, and I've got 2 of them in this color. These are the large recycled glass African bead strands, and these are about 24-inch strands. 24-inch strands, and the beads on here are generally around about 12.5 millimeters by 11.5. So very large, nice beads. The African glass, they do have the larger holes, and I think they're beautiful. I love this color. I love this color. So $16 each, 2 of them available. I like the light, kind of that light green glass. Of course it's green, a little bit green, So you know I love it. Angela says, love the peacocks, but a little too rich for me right now. I get it. I get it. I got to show them, though, just in case. You never know. Somebody's going to grab them. Grab them up. Sandra says, OMG, pricing is painful. Good problem to have, though. Oh, pricing out stuff? Yes. Pricing stuff out is not a fun process sometimes, but like you said, that means that hopefully you have business, right? So that means it's worth doing. Okay, these are fun. Let's do this at 14. 14 for this. This is a vintage strand. Ooh, don't fall off the end. And this is one of those, about a 12-inch strand of rutilated and tourmalinated quartz. Now it's like a white quartz, and you can see, like, look, some of that rutilation in there is really nice. You know, it's not as prevalent everywhere, but every once in a while you have some really nice rutilation and some tourmalination, but they're just really kind of cool stones, and I like that kind of smoky, like not completely, well, not clear at all. It's just different. Normally when we see rutilated and tourmalinated quartz, it's a clear quartz, whereas this is different. And it's about a 12-inch strand, and they're about 12 millimeter beads. $14 only, one strand available. Sandra says, this is for the ruby necklace. Gold has doubled since I started. I'm sure it has. We keep talking about it. Like, Andrew's always talking about, like, when we have our gold little charms and the silver, sterling silver charms, we keep saying that we are presenting old prices because metal prices have only continued to go up and up and up and up and up and up and up. They are not remaining where they used to be, for sure. All right, I'm also going to put back the dyed jade. And let me see, that was in this bag. The tag that says dyed jade, so I know for next time, in case nobody buys it tonight. Let's see here. And let's see, 22, 23, let's move this over here. 3. These are still available. We still have some of these. These are the vintage check glass in that really pretty blue, true blue, deep blue color. And then 26 and 27. Suzanne says, have tariffs affected you yet? We are working from a large backstock. Like, we have our stash. So a lot of things you're seeing are things that we had from before. So we are, and I think you can tell by our pricing that we have not been super affected yet by it. Things like metal, when Andrew is buying in metal, which he hasn't had to do yet too often, but he's probably, after these trips, he might have to. It's going to start to happen more and more. But like I said, we are working with our backstock of beads for you all so that luckily we can keep our prices back in the old time. Like, you can see our prices. They're back in like old time pricing. And we're doing that to try to ride things out a little bit and see how things go. And also give you the best prices we can on stuff that's still really really great quality. All right, FNL 28. These are, I thought two of these in here were resin because we have resin ones that look like this. These are glass. Large glass, cool large glass beads. So you get those. Look at how beautiful those are. And then you get this whole handful of these faceted glass beads. There are 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 of them in there. And these ones are approximately 26.5 by 44.5 by about 12. And then these ones are all a little bit different, but I'll pick one. They're about 23.5 by 10. So that's FNL 28, $8 for the whole lot of those. I think those are really fun. It'd be fun to play with. Move the stuff a little bit over. I think we can make room for one more thing on the board before we clear anything else out. FNL 29. These were 16. I'm going to bring them down to 14. We don't usually do a discount on these. But these are electroplated in copper vintage plastic. So underneath each of these is vintage plastic that's been electroplated in this thick, it's a very thick copper. And it's a beautiful nuggety strand of these. And it is a 7-inch strand. You can see it was 16. We didn't have a lot of, this came from a special vendor that did a lot of stuff by weight. We don't have a lot of room to give discounts on this, but I'll do it tonight for 14 if anybody wants it. It's just really cool and a good way to add metal if you want light. So like earrings, things like that. So that's FNL 29, $14 tonight only on that. And I'm going to put FNL 24 away. There's still 7 of those available, I believe. And I'm going to put 25 away. This is that African beads, African glass. And they are $16 for a 24-inch strand. 2 of them available. Okay, let's move 27 over. I'm surprised they haven't gone. I really like those. It's one of my favorite strands tonight. FNL 30. Good deal on this one. FNL 30, $5. It's these glitter glass. Sorry, everybody. These are these glitter glass beads. And you get 4 of them on the strand, $5 only. They're about 18.5 by 23.5 millimeters. Just a cool glass bead for those of you who like that coppery color, that gold color. Really nice. 1 strand available, FNL 30. Okay. FNL 31 was 10, bringing it down to 8. Are these glass beads? You also get these kind of cute little, I don't know, they put them on to make them look like tubes. But you get all those little spacers in there. But these are these nice glass faceted pillows. And there's 2, 4, 6, 7 beads on a strand. And these beads are 16, about 16 and a half. Well, 15 and a half that way, 16 and a half that way. They look square, but they're not quite. By 9. That's wild. They look pretty square to me, but apparently they're not. And super cool glass beads, FNL 31, $8 for the strand, down from 10. All right, let me put the rutilated and tourmalinated quartz away. FNL 27, $14. Okay. And let's stack that a little bit so it takes up a little less space over here. Whoa, that's off camera. Don't go all the way off camera. Okay, this is FNL 32. And these are super duper cool. These are vintage check. And they have a little divot down here. And I would assume you could glue in a crystal there. If you find the crystals that would fit in there, you could glue in a crystal or something if you wanted to. But they do just give it kind of an odd, kind of cool quality to the glass. And they are drilled through the top. So they're like a drop with a place that you could put a crystal in if you wanted to. And so there's 2, 4, 6, 8 of them for $8 or $1 a piece. Vintage check, FNL 32. Let me see if I can, going to see if I can track, make sure Anders, I haven't checked on him in a while. I'm using my little app, and he's in Pennsylvania. That's good. Let's see. He's about 100 miles away. So, yep, 9, 10, 11. He might have had to take a stop at one point. May's here. Hello. Says hi all. Great beads, William. Thank you. I'm having fun showing all the fun beads. Good colors, I think, tonight. We've had some various colors. I've been having fun with the colors for sure. Let me put this away. It is now time to put these away. These back carefully in the bag. How are you doing today? How's life? How's life? FNL 30, FNL 31, FNL 32, FNL 33, FNL 33. It's going to be $4. And this is a glass pendant set, if you want to call it that. It is a set, I guess. But you can use these how you want, whether you use them as connectors, as pendants. But you get two of the larger hollowed out rectangles, and then you get one small drilled rectangle. And they're just fun. This is in a kind of an orangey green colorway. It's hard to see with my hands there. I don't know if you can see the color better there. Orange and green colors, and it's only $4. $4. And overall, the biggest one is about 45 by 34 and a half. One set, $4. FNL 33. This is waiting for water to boil for pasta. Nice. I thought about making pasta, but I think I'm going to do since Suzanne talked about the baked potatoes, I think I'm going to do some baked potatoes. I've got cheese, I've got sour cream, I've got butter. I'm going to make some baked potatoes and maybe some rice and veggies to go with it. Okay, these are some beautiful lamp work, FNL 34. I'm going to do this whole set for only $16. And it says, love baked potatoes, yum. Me too. One of my favorite, potatoes in general are one of my favorite foods. This is FNL 34. And this has the old tag on it, Tiger Stripes, Lamborg bead set. This was from 02, apparently, 2002. So vintage, technically, yes, 20 years, right? Wow, that's wild. That is wild. But these are the smaller rondelles, and you get 8 of those. And then you get the larger tube there. So 9 beads in total, $16 for the set. And the rondelles are graduated. So they start at about 7.3 and go to, well, the next one, let's see if I can get on there, is about 7.9, and then 8.5, and then it won't let me grab. Why are you not grabbing that one? About 8.9. And then the larger one is 32 and a half by about 11 and a half. And so that is a strand of lampwork glass, $16, FNL 34. Baked potatoes are awesome, says Susan. May agrees about the potatoes, right? They're so good. How can you not like a potato? I don't know how anyone can not like a potato, to be 100% honest. All right, I'm going to move some of these things out of here. Excuse me. This glass, one strand of these, only $5. FNL 30. And we have this strand, FNL 31. You know what? Let's try and get some movement on that. Let's do $6 for the strand. I'm going to take it down to $6 for that strand. If you've been thinking about it, I'll mark it down special for y'all tonight. It's Friday, why not? So I'll leave that up. Can't mark these down. These are vintage, and funky cool. Very different. Let's see here. FNL 35. I have some milagros from Mexico. These are $12 for the lot. And we've got some steer, bulls, cows, I don't know. Milagros from Mexico brings them to $3 each. And you get all 4 of them together in the lot, $12. One lot of those available. I love these. FNL 36. I have other milagros available. FNL 36. I've got 2 arms and 2 legs. Mexican milagros. $12 for the set of 4 of those ones. And I know you can't see these on the camera, so I'm going to put some stuff away. Let's see here. Whoops. Put those away. Nobody grabbed them even at 6. All right. Okay. I think they're really pretty. And let's move these down. Move the little steer over here. The bovines. Move the arms and the legs. Let's flip them around so you can see them. Milagros, FNL 36. Let's put these at on paper 37. These are a dyed agate, dyed purple and black. And they're a drop shape, faceted. Beautiful dyed agate beads. $6 only for the strand. There's 8 beads on the strand, and each bead is about 12 by 15.5 millimeters. $6 only. And just to show you, they used to be 9. So giving you a deal on those. Giving you a deal on those. $6 for the strand. FNL32, putting that away. Let's put away this one as well. FNL33. That's the glass pendants or connectors, however you want to use those. Only $4. Let's move the lamp work down. Move the Milagros down. Milagros. And 37 goes up here. FNL 38. This is, these were 24. Bring it down to 20 for you all. This is really nice quality fluorite drops. Beautiful green fluorite. Nice grade green fluorite drops. You get 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 drops on there for $20. I was looking at this before. I had used a smaller version of these in this. Really pretty. Actually, I can't remember. I think Andrew made this. I don't know if I made this or if Andrew made this. But there you go. And these drops are approximately 21.7 by 15.7. FNL 38. This is 14. This is a ceramic pendant by Harry Wood. And it's this beautiful, flashy owl with a metallic glaze. I don't know if you can see, sometimes the light dims the metallic glaze on this. It's really an AB kind of glaze. And the hole is up at the top. This beautiful owl pendant by Harry Wood, $14. FNL 39. It's gorgeous in person. Not coming across as well on screen as usual. That's normal for that. I'm going to take those away. That's $16 for that lampwork set. And the last one. What should I do last tonight? FNL 40 is, let's see. What should I do? Let's end it with a big one. This was 60. I'm going to bring it down to 48. Lowest price ever. Suzanne says, Harry Wood is very talented. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Okay, so these are a magnificent strand of, again, vintage freshwater pearls in the peacock. Look at those colors. Beautiful strand of peacock pearls. Was $60 for the strand, bringing it down to $48 only. These are nice, large pearls. Sandra says 38 is beautiful. I know, and that price? What? That's wild, y'all. And I got a cat hair in there. There we go. Look at those beautiful pearls. Look at that red coming out of there. Just such pretty colors. And this is a vintage pearl strand, vintage freshwater. And it is a 16-inch strand. They're a little bit, like I said, they're a little bit almost gnarly, like with some of the ringing that they've got going on them. But the colors, like there's purple. Look at that purple coming out. Look at that red again. Like just beautiful pearls. Stunning, stunning, stunning. Sandra says if those pearls were mint green, right? Nope. Nope. Sorry. $48 for that strand. One strand available. And that, my friends, is the show tonight. So thank you so much for hanging out with me all night. Here, I'm going to go and work on the invoicing and then work on some dinner for us when Andrew gets home, because he's on his way. He's only about 100 miles away, less now. Susie says, I love gnarly pearls. Me too, Susie, me too. Like these make my heart, I don't want to say they make my heart flutter because I have heart issues, but they are so beautiful to me. Like some people look at these and they're like, they're not perfect. They're not, they've got some like this one right here. Like the nacre isn't even all the way. I don't care. I love these. I think they make it really special to add like one of them to something. One in a bracelet or something like that, just to make it a little bit more special. Sue says, tell Andrew hello. Have an awesome dinner together. Thank you so much. I will. Kimberly loves them. Thank you. Great show, says Maybelline. Says, enjoy your dinner with Andrew. I will try. I'm sure he'll be exhausted when he gets home. He's been driving. He'll be driving over 12 hours by the time he gets home. Suzanne says, have a great weekend, everyone. Yes, please, everyone, have a great weekend. Enjoy it. I hope the weather stays good for all of you out there. And yeah, have an amazing one. We'll see if Andrew and I go live at any point over the weekend, just for him to drop in and say hi, because he's not been able to for a while. The internet wasn't great where he was, so he's not been able to do as much. But yeah, we might do that. We'll see. Good night, everybody. Sweet dreams, says Susan. Sweet dreams to you all. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday. Bye, everybody.